it the most densely populated island in the wider Caribbean region. The Bahamas National Trust is undertaking an ambitious campaign to expand its facilities and the parks on New Providence. Eric Carey, the Trust's executive director, explains.
Our goal is to develop these parks into places where Bahamians can bring their families to enjoy nature. We want to provide Bahamians the opportunity to take their families bird watching, kayaking along boardwalks at Harold and Wilson's Pond and Bonefish Pond National Parks and witness the unique nature of the Bahamian natural environment.
One success is that the Bahamas National Trust began a nature program for Bahamas youth called the Discovery Club.
One of the most important values that I've learned from being in the Discovery Club is that it's our responsibility to take care of the environment and that we must take steps to help and protect it.
Conservationists have worked with the Bahamas government to create 25 national parks covering over 700,000 acres of land and sea. These parks span from Walker's Key, Grand Bahama, Abaco, New Providence, Andros, Exumas, Conception Island, Crooked Island, and Little and Great Inagua. While the government of the Bahamas provides considerable funding support for the national park system, the Trust still needs additional funds to acquire more patrol boats, develop better facilities, create educational programs, and hire additional staff. The Bahamas National Trust must depend mainly on private donations to continue protecting these national treasures. If you wish to see these pristine parks treated with the respect and protection they deserve for your children and their children, then please support the Bahamas National Trust.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, Penders Point residents demand action on the foul odor emanating in their community. Plus, a former parliamentarian chiming in on the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority's dispute. Chairman of the PLP responds. And Abaco records the country's 40th homicide. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Azure Quant. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news this evening, in the midst of a heated dispute between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, a former parliamentarian expresses deep concerns about the future of Freeport. His scrutiny centers on identifying the obstacles impeding the city's growth, while openly criticizing the government for its public handling of the dispute. Raven Davis has tonight's top story.
Grand Bahama is not exactly happy and with this present Grand Bahama Port Authority. They have their deficiencies, but their deficiencies far outweigh the capability of the government of the Bahamas.
That's former parliamentarian Frederick McAlpine remarking that neither the government or the Grand Bahama Port Authority has fulfilled its obligations to Freeport as he lent his voice to the ongoing public spat between the two entities on Monday. McAlpine criticizing the government for its aggressive stance, accusing it of behaving like bullies in the matter.
When will this PLP regime, past and present, recognize that this kind of behavior is not good for international business?
Now, he admits there is a stark difference between the GBPA of today and the GBPA of yesteryear, as he questions which party is impeding the economic expansion of Freeport.
The average person in Freeport believes for some time now that there seems to have been a lack of vision, leadership, and they need to revive and rejuvenate their ability to bring forth investment. While we would admit that we are not fully happy with the Grand Bahama Port Authority at present, we do not wish to have the government of the Bahamas or any government taking over the responsibility of our roads, water, and garbage collection.
Despite this, he says Grand Bahama residents have become accustomed to many benefits under the port and claims successive governments have been derelict in Family Island development and infrastructure. Now, tensions between the government and the port have been rising since last year, but just this month, the Davis administration sent a letter demanding the port pay over $300 million owed to the government from the past 5 fiscal years.
The government of the Bahamas have been receiving $200 million plus in taxes from the people of Freeport proper. Please tell me, how much of that money has been spent and pumped back into Freeport?
Now, as for what he would do differently, Michael Pine suggests granting GBPA more authority by enacting legislation to have them remove derelict buildings from around the city. Additionally, he proposes granting the organization more autonomy in approving investments and adopting a more lenient approach to licensees. This all aimed at improving the investment climate on the island. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Meanwhile, party chairman Fred Mitchell now hitting back at statements made by former parliamentarian Frederick McAlpine, labeling them as ill-founded F&M talking points. He asserts that there is no spat, just a legal issue that must be settled to determine if GBPA owes the government for monies expended to support the city.
It's a legal question. It's founded in the treaty, in the agreement, the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, which is a matter of law. And they have 30 days to respond. And if they don't respond, the matter goes to arbitration. So all the horse dead and cow fat and who said what and who didn't say what, and they don't want the government to run the city. Nobody's talking about any of that. Right now, it's a simple matter. Do you owe the money? Are you going to pay?
Mitchell adds that McAlpine's claim regarding the government receiving over $200 million in port taxes is incorrect. He advises against deflecting from the real matter at hand.
The Bahamas government has been carrying the city because the Grand Bahama Port Authority has walked away from its obligations to the city. And don't come and start spinning prejudicial information about the Bahamas government. The Bahamas government has saved Grand Bahama time and time again.
In other news, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernander has unveiled the annual crime statistics for 2022 to 2023, revealing declines in homicides, shop breaking, and armed robberies. He emphasizes a decrease in criminal activities across the northern Bahamas, highlighting that the figures for 2023 are notably improved compared to 2022. Property crimes have seen a notable decline. Grand Bahama experienced a 10% reduction. Turning to homicides, there has been a 14% decline, with 110 incidents compared to 128 in 2022. 3 of these incidents occurred in Grand Bahama. Gunshot wounds were the leading cause of death in murder cases, with 95% of victims being males and 89% under the age of 45. Despite these statistics, the solvency rate remains at 65%, according to the commissioner. Crime statistics for housebreaking also revealing a decline, down by 27%, with 372 incidences reported compared to 507 in 2022. Grand Bahama, Bimini, and Abaco accounted for 62 incidents, 17% of which were shop breakings, with a concentration in the Central and Abaco divisions. Switching gears now to Abaco. Police on that island are investigating the latest shooting incident that has claimed the life of a 37-year-old male. Tonight, a close friend of the victim is mourning that tragic loss. Here's more in this story.
Father was one of many.
He was a husband, father, son, brother, and friend. 37-year-old Nato Major, a man whose life was tragically cut short. The tragic incident unfolding shortly after 1 a.m. on Saturday, April 13, 2024, in front of the victim's business establishment in Dundastown, Abaco. Reports indicate that officers proceeded to the establishment after receiving reports of gunshots. Upon arrival, officers discovered a male victim inside a blue GMC Sierra truck suffering from apparent gunshot injuries. His best friend, now haunted by the events of that fateful night, reflecting on the loss of his friend.
Just walking down and seeing him, I said, okay, this is for real. He dropped straight to me, and I just was like, look at him like, take my brother from me.
According to the police report, it is revealed that the victim, accompanied by 2 passengers, was attempting to leave the establishment when a lone gunman emerged from nearby bushes, approached the driver's side of the truck, and opened fire, resulting in the victim being shot multiple times. Emergency personnel swiftly responding to the scene, examined the victim, and determined that he showed no signs of life. At a press briefing held in the nation's capital Monday morning, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernander addressing the alarming rise in shootings on Abaco.
I'm concerned about Abaco with respect to recent shootings, and that is being addressed with my senior team and Ms. Knowles and her team down in Grand Bahama and Abaco. They have officers on the ground as we speak, still probing that investigation, and we are asking the people of Abaco to please assist the officers down there with any information.
Reflecting on the moments just hours before the tragic shooting, Hall reminisces on the cherished memories he shared with Major. He describes him as a devoted family man, loyal friend, and highlights the profound impact Major had on those around him.
We sat right on the bar, watching me eat noodles and Viennese sausage and telling me this is gourmet meal for the day. We love his kids. Every last one, we love them. We tried to spend as much time with them as possible. If we just riding, we'll be in the truck riding, BJ recording one, and that was just him.
Now in news from police on Grand Bahama, officers are investigating a traffic accident that claims the life of a 56-year-old man and hospitalized 2 other adults. The traffic accident occurred on Saturday, April 13th, 2024, shortly after midnight in 8 Mile Rock. Reports indicate that a blue Nissan Cube occupied by 3 men was traveling east on Bayshore Road when the driver reportedly lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a utility pole. Both the driver and the front seat passenger sustained injuries. However, the rear seat passenger, age 56, was ejected from the vehicle during the crash and suffered serious injuries. While all occupants were taken to the Rand Memorial Hospital by ambulance, the rear seat passenger succumbed to his injuries shortly after receiving medical treatment. Active investigations continue into this matter. Well, residents of Penders Point coming together to confront a long-standing issue plaguing their community, a noxious odor that has raised serious health concerns for years. With determination, they are pinpointing the company responsible for the foul scent and demanding immediate action. Their message is clear: either address the problem or cease operations until it is resolved. Shalia Roll brings you more in this report.
It is an issue that residents of the Penders Point community dealt with for decades, a gaseous odor emanating in the area that they say is affecting their health.
We demand a resignation.
And we're asking for a simple request. It's not far-fetched. We want them to cease operation until they can fix their problem.
The use of masks did not stop in the pandemic for these residents. They say that most people in the community sleep in masks to conceal the odor. That is at the peak during the nighttime. Recently, members of the community went to the hospital as symptoms from the odor got worse.
So many people have to went to the hospital for check.
We've been stripped of the right to breathe fresh air.
I can't breathe, and then now you get up and you got it.
Now, last week, our ZNS News team spoke with the Minister of Environment, Vaughn Miller, who stated that the issue will be rectified once the area has been assessed.
This has been a vexing issue. This is one that we are extremely concerned about. The health of our people, the very lives of our people are at stake. They've been complaining for a long time. And so our health officials will be visiting the area. And once they table their findings, I wish to assure the residents of that area that we will act accordingly.
ZNS News also reaching out to officials at Buckeye, Bahamas for a response. However, they declined. This is a developing story that we will continue to follow. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Rule.
Thank you, Shalia. Well, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, has issued a statement in connection with the odor in the Penders Point area. The statement reads that the Ministry for Grand Bahama is aware of the concerns expressed by residents of Penders Point and surrounding areas in close proximity to the industrial sector. It continues that the health and well-being of all Grand Bahamians are a matter of top priority of the Ministry for Grand Bahama and, by extension, the government of the Bahamas. We are engaged with the Ministry of Environment that has carriage of such matters. We will continue to monitor in the interest of the people of Grand Bahama as the investigation continues. When we come back, the Godfrey Williams Foundation once again honoring individuals on Grand Bahama for their hard work in the community. That story and more when the Northern Edition returns.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath, number 16 Oak Street. Phone them at 688-9661.
Veronica Bishop.
She said, hello, like we better come on now.
Sweet Emily.
Now you run away. Why you gonna love me if you know you couldn't handle it?
Don't miss the best of the best. Turks and Caicos Islands, June 27th through 30th. TCI. Be there.
It's your time to taste the grand life at the newly restored Prop Club Beach Bar and Grill at Grand Lucaya. Grand Bahama's premium sports bar, hangout, and entertainment hub. Available for special events. Stop in 7 days a week and join the successful business professionals, sports fanatics, foodies, and friends at the most pristine stretch of beachfront in Freeport. The ultimate party spot. Prop Club Beach Bar and Grill. Now open 7 days a week, Monday to Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Thursday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to midnight, with special guest artists from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. There's also karaoke Friday, and on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, it's happy hour, drinks, and food specials at Prop Club Beach Bar and Grill, located at Grand Lucaya.
Call us today to book your parties, weddings, and special events.
At Prop Club Beach Bar and Grill.
Prop Club Beach Bar and Grill.
Have questions for Grand Bahama Power Company? Get insights and answers to the power concern every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Tune in and power up your knowledge with Ask GBPC.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Godfrey Williams Foundation once again honoring individuals on Grand Bahama for their work in the community. A special award ceremony was held this past weekend where over 20 young professionals were recognized. Here's Jay Philippe with that report.
It was standing room only during a night of elegance and class as some of Grand Bahama's brightest and most influential young individuals were recognized for their hard work and impact in the community. 25 professionals ranging from diverse backgrounds being honored during the 3rd annual Godfrey R. Williams Rising Voices Awards.
I just thought that, we normally give people the flowers after they die. I thought that it was an excellent idea to give people the roses while they can smell it, and especially our young people who are making some impact in Grand Bahama.
For many of the honorees, it was an opportunity to be celebrated for their hard work and commitment, for their crafts and gifts. According to coordinator of the award ceremony, Executive Pastor Laquez Williams, the task in selecting the honorees involved great depth and research and evaluation.
We were looking at different qualities such as those who have been making a contribution in the community, those who have been making some form of impact even in their area of vocation. So it was very important for us to look for people who are making an impact. But there are some people, because a lot of people say we got to wait until they're old. But the reality is young people need encouragement as well. So even in that crop, we were looking for some young people who are definitely influencers who are making an impact, just to encourage them to say, hey, listen, whatever area God has placed you, make an impact, occupy until he comes, and continue to push them on.
Dr. Ricardo Clark taking center stage as the keynote speaker, delivering his address under the theme, You Are Amazing. Dr. Clark challenging the honorees to maintain humility even as they relentlessly pursue excellence in their endeavors.
The assignment was simple, just to remind them that they are amazing. They are honorees for a reason. They're doing the work. So my job was just to encourage them to continue to do the work and be the rising stars that they have obviously been already.
All the honorees receiving awards recognized for their contributions across a broad spectrum of professions, the event serving as a jubilant celebration of the community of voices that uplift, empower, and make positive changes within the Grand Bahama community. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Congratulations to all the awardees. It is time now for your Health is Wealth Monday tip provided by Lucayan Concierge Services.
The World Health Organization's 2018 report showed that the harmful use of alcohol resulted in about 3 million deaths worldwide. Motor vehicle crashes, violence, and risky sexual behaviors are a few of the short-term effects that alcohol can have on one's body. While long-term alcohol use can lead to increased risk of chronic diseases like high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, liver disease, and digestive problems. Also, cancers involving the breast, mouth, throat, liver, colon, and rectum may also be linked to excessive alcohol use. Deciding not to drink alcohol or to drink in moderation can reduce your risk factors for these health and safety issues. If you or anyone you know feels the need to cut down on drinking, feel annoyed or guilty by your drinking habits, have frequent hangovers or eye openers, get help today. I'm Nurse Therrell Smith reminding you that your health is your wealth.
A look at tonight's weather forecast is coming up, but first, here is Jay Philippe with what's happening in sports.
Right after this break.
It's the Come Go With Me Best of the Best Bahamas and Turks and Caicos concert weekend, Providenciales, Turks and Caicos. Day 1, the People's Rush Welcome Party, June 27th. For more information, email comegowithmeweekend@gmail.com.
New this spring at Island Bedding and Furniture, the Forever Flower Shop. Check out our new selection of artificial flowers and wreaths. Choose stems for your own projects or get a pre-made arrangement as a quick fix to a dull space. If you're a soon-to-be bride, inquire about bulk ordering for floral options that won't break the bank. It's all here at Island Bedding and Furniture, located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Caribbean Veterinary.
Hungry? Save the day with this hack. The tastiest hack is no longer a secret. Order 2 medium one-topping pizzas from Pizza Hut Freeport for only $22. Enjoy Pizza Hut while spending less all the way to the crust. Visit us at the store, carry out, or delivery. 2 medium one-topping pizzas for only $22. Call us at 352-9191. Pizza Hut Freeport. Enjoy all the way to the crust. Pizza Hut Freeport.
Gents, Mother's Day is coming up, and I'm thinking about upgrading my kids' mother's kitchen.
Man, I thought your children's mother was married to another man. You have to know when to let go. This is powerful. You know what? I'm going to upgrade my wife's kitchen for Mother's Day. I am sure she would love that.
I think so too. Check out Cornet Bahamas. They're having a pre-Mother's Day sale, 35% off store-wide starting April 16th through May 16th. The Sandy Port Plaza, Freeport, Albuquerque, and Eleuthera.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority, in conjunction with the Grand Bahama Tourism Board and others, brings you Freeport Business Expo, May 2nd, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Grand Lucayan Resort Convention Center. Register today at freeportbusinessexpo.com.
Tired of the endless bank fees and long lines? The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union is the solution to making your money work for you by providing you with free financial counseling, higher interest on savings plans, and lower interest rates on loans. Savings products such as Christmas and Vacation Club, fixed deposits, and annuity savings allow our members to prepare for today and tomorrow without all of the hassle. With GBCCU 352-4139.
For 2 decades, Flamingo Air has soared above the Bahamas, connecting our islands with pride and passion. As we rise above our challenges, we stand tall, resolute in our commitment to excellence. Thanks to your unwavering support, we have recommitted ourselves to making every trip an experience to remember. Flamingo Air, committed to safety and service.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. I have a whole lot of sports for you. Legacy baseball scores from the weekend, also softball in Albuquerque at the Murphytown Softball Park. But let's begin with junior national basketball trials that took place this weekend at the gym. Fresh from being selected as the junior national girls basketball coach for the 15U and 17U age group, Coach Anton Francis held his first set of tryouts on Grand Bahama this past weekend at St. George's Gym.
For the most part, we got like about 6 to 10 girls out, and it's been very interesting. A lot of girls are interested. Still trying to see how we can get some of the girls up to the national level standard of play. We're really looking for girls that can play, girls that are disciplined, girls that want to come out and try out and are interested in playing. We're looking for ladies that are born in 2008 and 2009 to come out and try out for the national team.
Trials is expected to continue this week at the gym. Switching gears now in sports, the Cybertech Blue Marlins defeated Grand Bahama All-Stars at the Nigel Boodle Senior Softball Tournament in Albuquerque. A major reason behind the success of the tournament was DK's Auto Works.
This opportunity came our way, and we were extremely happy to do that. Having been brought up around softball all my life, my father, Lonnie Aubrey, was, a local pitcher, and we spent many weekends and weeknights at the softball field. So, it's a really good memory that I have.
And finally in sports, called some Legacy Baseball League on the weekend. The Buccaneers Burgundy shut out the Buccaneers Gold 17-0 in coach pitch play. And in 10U action, the Buccaneers Burgundy defeated Viradas Consultants 6-4. Games will continue this week, Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. at the YMCA baseball field. Ladies and gents, that is your quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Thank you, Jay. And here's your check on the local weather forecast, sponsored by Royal Star Assurance.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Don't go anywhere. Our Facebook friend of the day is up next.
Chino D.
Something just ain't right. There be no mosquito.
Elon Musk. Don't miss the best of the best. Turks and Caicos Islands. June 27th through 30th. TCI. Be there.
Welcome to Bellevue Business Depot, your ultimate destination for all your office and lifestyle needs. From top quality furniture to essential office supplies, copy paper, ink, and school essentials, we've got you covered. Visit our cafe for delicious coffee, Bahamian patties, hot dogs, nachos, and more. Our business center offers copies, emails, scans, prints, business cards, and even assistance with event programs and drawings. Trust our reliable Western Union service for sending money worldwide. Don't forget the balloons for that extra touch of magic for your celebration. Check out our range of printers and electronics for all your tech needs. Visit Bellevue Business Depot today, your one-stop shop for all your needs and more. Open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Bellevue Business Depot, where convenience meets quality.
When a storm strikes and knocks out power to your home, you may be forced to use a backup energy source such as solar panels or a generator. But do you know about the potential dangers and how to safely use backup energy sources? There's one major risk. It's called backfeed, and it can endanger you, a family member, or someone else, especially a lineman or electrician working at or near your property. Backfeed occurs when power travels from your solar setup or generator back through the utility lines, resulting in them being unknowingly re-energized. Backfeed creates a very dangerous and potentially deadly situation for line workers and the public. To prevent backfeed, generators, whether permanent or portable, should never be plugged into a home's wiring or directly to the circuit breaker panel. The best way to avoid backfeed is by installing a transfer switch. Preventing backfeed could save a life.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Giovanni Thompson, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you always for your support. Also sending a happy birthday wish to Mr. Fred Moss. We hope you are enjoying. And that's going to do it for us tonight here in the North. On behalf of the entire Northern Edition team, I'm Azure Quant. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, 2023 murders down, rapes up. Tributes to former MP, BTC fined, and in sports, SAC claims 6 of 8 at Nationals. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here.
Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akushla Pender, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. Certainly not every day that we hear of an overall drop in crime, but such was the case in 2023, with officials revealing a 21% decline in serious crimes and a 26% reduction in crimes against a person. But while those stats are comforting, there's one particular category that last year trended upward. Cleopatra Murphy has the details in tonight's top story.
11%. That's how much rape increased in 2023, with 61 cases recorded. It's the only category of crime that saw its numbers increase compared to the year before, with victims knowing their assailants in 50% of the cases. Murder, on the other hand, trended down 14%, with 110 recorded.
With respect to crime against the person, murder was down 110 in 2023 to compare to 128 in 2022. Unlawful sexual intercourse, 134 compared to 139 in 2022. Armed robberies, 368 compared to 555 the previous year.
Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernando gave those 2023 statistics during his annual Meet the Press on Monday. In the case of murder and armed robbery, he says firearms continue to be the weapon of choice, adding that some 355 illegal weapons were removed from the streets in 2023 and 8,895 rounds of ammunition were recovered. As for those homicides, Fernando says 75 suspects who were on bail committed murder, 33 victims were killed while on bail, while 25 victims were killed while being electronically monitored. While he insists one murder is too much, the Commissioner of Police lauded police's murder solvency rate, which with 41 murders in 2024 stands at 73%.
72 of the 110 were solved, which represent a 65% solvency rate. And I must commend the men and women of this great organization. All areas contributed to the success rate with respect to the solvency rate with murders.
When it comes to property crime, that is also down 19%.
372 housebreaking reported in 2023 compared to 507 in the previous year. Stealing 1,038 compared to pretty much the same as the previous year. Stolen vehicle is also down. 2023, 257 compared to 330 in the previous year.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Well, thanks, Cleopatra. Well, joining us in studio to speak more on the issue of rape is ASP Altita Bowles, the officer in charge of the Sexual Offenses Unit. Good evening, Officer Bowles, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me here. Good evening, Bahamas.
Rape, a very distressing issue, but it is our reality today. What would you say attribute to the increase in rapes last year, in 2023?
The increase, I would say, we saw that victims were very vulnerable. We had individuals living, female victims living at home by themselves. They weren't paying attention to their surroundings. So, of course, the perpetrator is going to look for the most vulnerable individual to attack. And when you have that individual in the form of a woman who's not going to give you much resistance when it comes to those attacks.
Any particular, other than that, any particular thing that the perpetrators look out for in their victims? I know we've heard of people living alone. Is it that they look for a particular age? Last year, we had some of the victims in their 20s. If you were to think back to just last week, we had a lady, 51 years old. So does age
play a factor as well?
In the overall scheme of things, I don't see age playing a factor. However, we did see a slight increase in individuals who are in the 40s, 50 range being attacked by individuals, which we normally don't hear about. When you look at a female and you have male attackers, they're easily subdued and they're taken advantage of. So when it comes to our perpetrator looking at age really isn't a main factor in identifying victims.
Any tips before you leave in terms of what women, or men for that matter, can do to avoid becoming victims?
Definitely. I think as it relates to females, we should always walk in pairs if possible. We should be in surroundings that are lit. Our homes, if we are able to, we should have footage there. We should have secure doors, windows. All these things are a very important factor in ensuring that you're not made an easy target.
Well, thank you so much. Once again, that was ASP Altita Bowles, who is the officer in charge of the Sexual Offenses Unit. Her comments come as the Commissioner of Police just today revealed that in 2023, there was an increase in cases of a rape. Thanks so much, ASP Bowles, for joining us on the Bahamas tonight. Well, as officials would tell you, illegal drugs continue to fuel local crime wars. In terms of the figures pulled in 2023, here's what the police commissioner disclosed.
We had a total of 4,598 pounds of cocaine seized in 2023, 10,386 pounds of marijuana, and 266 plants, marijuana plants, was seized throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We arrested a total of 1,504 persons and put before the court, a number of matters are still pending. 1,184 persons were charged for possession and possession with intent to supply. That was put out there, and you could see the success even moving straight into this year, 2024. We had a lot of seizure within the family of islands, cocaine. I'm talking about large seizures of cocaine coming especially from the southern New Providence.
Well, from drugs, we go to homicide, and this afternoon's incident, an incident this afternoon, rather, fresh on the heels of a fatal shooting after 4 o'clock this morning in West Bay Street in the area of Luna nightclub. Investigating officers met a man believed to be in his late 30s with gunshot injuries.
Reports thus far indicate that the male was leaving this local night spot when he was approached by a lone assailant as he attempted to enter his vehicle. He and the assailant got into an argument. The assailant brandished a firearm and shot him multiple times. The victim ran a short distance in an effort to seek refuge, but he collapsed a short distance.
While investigations into that matter continue, police said to be making significant headway into that fatal Apache Alley shooting Friday that resulted in the death of a water and sewage subcontractor. The victim, who we're told was working a backhoe at the time, was approached by a gunman who shot him multiple times.
Based on what I know about the investigation and what was reported to me, I expect this matter to, sometime before this week is out, we should be able to bring some closure to that. I'm happy to where we are at this time with this investigation.
Well, as we indicated earlier, another homicide in the capital this afternoon, this latest one taking place in the Yellow Elder community. The victim, a man hoping to turn his life around. Our Lloyd Allen is at the scene. Lloyd, what can you tell us?
One Wakusha side scene here in the area of Yellow Elder, where police reported just shortly after 3:30, a Japanese vehicle pulled through this street, Nelson Street, to this very house here, pulling out a high-powered weapon and opening fire against 29-year-old DeMarcus McIntosh. That man was shot and killed, and Chief Superintendent Kristen Skipping says investigations are now underway to track down the shooter.
Again, we see a small Japanese vehicle
and I make an appeal to members of the public, especially those persons who know that their residents or their neighbors do not possess small Japanese vehicles, and you see a Japanese vehicle at the rear of someone's home or on a property, we're asking you to give us a call.
Police confirming the victim had some run-in with them sometime before, and at the time of the shooting was not being monitored. The family's lawyer, Wilver Delaveau, also sharing some details about the victim.
There are some may say some negative things, but my knowledge of him, very respectful young man. I've represented the family, and in many cases, I found him to be of a person of good standing.
Now, this proving to be of little comfort to the victim's father, Nathan McIntosh.
He is a loving boy. Every little children around here just look up to him. I train him. I do mechanic work, body work and everything. And he was the best at it. Everybody right here knows him well. And that's all I have to say.
And as his family prepares to say goodbye for one last time to their loved one, they're also hopeful that justice be served for him, better known as Mamas. Reporting from the Yellow Elder community, for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Mukushla.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. Still to come, tributes to a former MP. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
We exposed 5 strangers to different KFC menus to see if the flavor can enhance any moment. And at the first bite, the party began. We repeated the experiment during the day, during business hours, on weekends, with sunshine, with rain. It's confirmed any moment can be a KFC moment.
Since 1974, the National Insurance Board has been an income replacement safety net.
But to ensure our future remains secure, starting July 1st, 2024, contribution rates will increase and will continue to be shared by employers and employees.
We will be sharing more information in the upcoming months. But for now, get more details on nibrateincrease.com.
Invest in tomorrow today with NIB.
Because together, we can ensure our financial future.
When we started Stormframe Windows in 1999, we wanted to fabricate an impact-rated product to compete with the Florida market, and we've done this. There's no fabricator or vendor from Florida that can do what we can in the Bahamas. Because we fabricate locally and we're a local-based company, we have the capability to provide better customer service than our competitors. With all the worldwide supply chain issues, we at Stormframe have improved our fabrication process and have invested in stock to be able to produce our orders in 4 weeks. We also keep in stock over 400 windows and doors at standard sizes for walk-in customers to purchase. Our professional sales staff is here to assist you with the complete purchase and installation. We also service and ship to the out islands.
Thank you for your support, Bahamas.
Thank you for your support, Bahamas.
After 51 years, Popeyes is crashing the wings party with 5 flavors.
Makes no sense it took so long. Crispy outside, juicy inside.
Who are you? We don't make sense. We make chicken. Y'all good?
Popeyes' new chicken wings make no sense. Marinated in Louisiana spices, hand battered and clipped, and then we have the audacity to call all 5 flavors fast food? Someone should really say something or order something.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Now available at Popeyes in Nassau.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
The best of the best. Keep the vibes alive music group. Alpha Sounds Promotions present the best of the best Rick and Scrape Explosion. As we ignite the grounds of Super Club Breezes, KB, Gino D, Funky D, Veronica Bishop, Ivy, the Islanders, Elon Moxley, Shine 242.
Get your tickets now. Available online at BahamasEtickets.com or swing by the Beauty Shack on Soldier Road and Carmichael Road.
And we're not done yet. The Falcons, Shag Collie and the VIPs, Pat Ramey, Stevie S, Johnny Cake, Iron Store, Novi, Mama D, and Nishi LS. Skyboxes and Skypods available. Call 394-0819. The best of the best Rick and Scrape Explosion. Gates open at 6 p.m. May 11th at Super Club Breezes.
A moment of silence in the upper chamber as senators pause to remember the life of former Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly and parliamentarian Donald Saunders. The husband and father praised for his dedication to national development. Senators also getting down to business to debate and pass amendments to the Apprenticeship, Water Skiing, and Motorboat Control Boat Registration Acts. The Senate has adjourned sine die. During debate on the boat registration amendment bill, though, government Senate leader and Minister of Economic Affairs highlighted its impact on the boating industry.
In the implementation, Mr. Vice President, there were some unintended consequences, and we had feedback from fishermen in the Family Islands and owners of small boats in those islands. And so we went back, took a second look, adjusted those fees downwards. There are some what we think are modest increases, but we think, given the fact that these were not adjusted for many, many years, those won't be particularly excessively onerous.
While opposition Senate leader, the Honorable Darren Henfield, confirmed the opposition's support for the Apprenticeship Act and its impact on the future of the country's youth, the Free National Movement's not giving the green light to the Boat Registration Act.
These fees, which were unceremoniously implemented without consultation, will negatively impact the lives of Bahamians in the Arbor Coast, in the Keys, in Long Island, in Exuma, and in our Keys generally. That's the bottom line. Talk to people before you come and increase 700-fold. And then we lower the fees a little, and we come back, but it's still, the fees are still onerous for a fellow who was paying $20 or whatever it was he was paying before.
Still on politics this evening, a step forward for the Coalition of Independents as the political group held its first convention, coming out with a new leadership team. Lloyd Allen reports.
Well, good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. The Bahamas' political landscape now set for an historic shift as members of the Coalition of Independents officially ratified the political organization, which for them is another step to securing their place as the country's third major political party. Its leader, Lincoln Bain, said during the party's inaugural convention this past Saturday, the current leadership is the ideal team to take the party forward.
Veronica MacGyver is now the deputy leader of the party. Charlotte Green remains the chairman. And so we had several leadership changes, but we think that this is the team that we need to take us into the next general election.
Among the many plans, the party hopes to reassess the use of carbon credits.
We want it to go into the pockets of Bahamian people.
The party's newly elected deputy leader, Dr. Veronica McGyver, and others say the campaign approach will be clear.
For me, messaging is going to be the most important thing. The people are going to have to know what our message is and identify with that. And we would like to show them that we are separate and apart from the two mainstream parties.
We are that party that plans on staying here, that plans on standing up and fighting for the people based on our vision.
Most of the Bahamian people believe that we are not transparent with them, and they talk about corruption, mismanagement, those kind of things. Those are the things that we'll be looking to deal with firsthand.
My goal is to put in place a 50-year plan to ensure that by the third or fourth year, this D average would have been long gone.
Reporting live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla.
Thanks, Lloyd. Well, the Bahamas Telecommunications Company has to cough up more than $200,000 in about 30 days to pay a fine levied by the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority. IRCA claims BTC violated its mobile number portability rules. In layman's terms, BTC reportedly delayed mobile number porting requests involving BTC and Be Alive Limited on November 25th and 26th of 2022. Mobile number portability allows consumers to retain their mobile telephone numbers when switching from one service provider to another, promoting competition and consumer choice within the telecommunications sector. Failure to comply with this order may result in additional penalties for BTC, including a fine not exceeding 10% of its relevant turnover. And as you can imagine, IRCA's fine isn't sitting well with BTC. In fact, Director of Legal and Government Affairs, Stephen Coakley-Wells, verified in a statement as much, noting that the fine is unwarranted and excessive. He maintains the company treats any assertion that regulatory obligations were violated very seriously and plans to appeal. Well, Child Prevention and Protection Month observed in a pretty unique way on the campus of one primary school here in the capital. LaDawn Davis has the highlights.
Teachers and students from Palmdale Primary School alongside social workers joined hands in solidarity on Monday with the blue plastic pinwheels in hand to say no to abuse and neglect against children. Social Services Minister, the Honorable Mouse Arota, was the first to plant his pinwheel in the school's garden. He confirms an estimated 150 children are currently living in government-owned housing facilities who were abandoned by their parents and are now seeking quality childcare.
Kids with disabilities, but I can tell you some of them are there because parents just had them and just left, never looked back. Some of them come from homes where the government had to intervene because of complaints from either family members or neighbors. And so the government would have had to intervene and take those kids into care. Some of these kids move through the justice system where we've seen in the papers kids who have suffered, burns or other. So there are cases where parents or the guardians have been brought before the courts for those type of unacceptable behavior.
School guidance counselor Sion Edwards believes the pinwheels represent the innocence of every child that should not be taken advantage of.
It's important for our children in particular to know how important they are, how they're valued, and that if they see something, say something, also to make them feel safe and that they have an environment where they have people they can come to talk about any abuse they might be going through.
With about 50 pinwheels planted in Palmdale Primary's garden, Bahamians everywhere are lobbying for child abuse conversations and its impact to be beefed up in our public schools, not just during Child Prevention Month, but all year long. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Well, today there are only preschoolers, the littlest of the bunch in the education system. In a few years, though, they'll stand tall among us, making positive contributions to society. Nurturing them, then, should not be taken for granted. As officials stress, it must be done right, it must be relevant, it must be robust, it must be innovative. Officially opening the 20th annual Preschool Week this morning, Education and Technical and Vocational Training Minister, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, stressed the importance of parent involvement.
The research, the science shows the importance of these formative years in long-term human development. So they're not just little children, they're little human beings with brains and spirits that have to be nurtured and developed. We're going to have to create public fora for parents with their children to ensure we can, where there is not immediate access, that we, formal access, that we create forms of access for our pre-primary children. And so that is the message for today. We've come a long way, baby, in 20 years, and we have some way to go.
Well, we still have more news to come, but Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for tonight, we'll take a look back at the final day of competition and the National High School Track and Field Championships. Details ahead in sports.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Jessica Cooper, led an all-star delegation of government officials and tourism executives to SeaTrade, the world's largest and most renowned cruise event.
SeaTrade is a great forum for the coming together of the owners and captains of industry. We've had great meetings with the major cruise lines, the cruise associations. We've been able to get updates on lookout at South Eleuthera, at Calypso Cove in Long Island, of course Carnival in Grand Bahama. So there are exciting cruising updates in the pipeline for the Bahamas. We're growing at 43%. This is simply phenomenal. I am delighted that we've been able to partner with all of the associations of the Bahamas in our booth this year. And we're not fragmented. We are together as a unit. Bahamas Maritime Authority, Freeport Harbor Company, the Bimini Port, Grand Bahama Port Authority. Everyone's under the same tent. Well, the future's bright for cruising. The future's bright for the Bahamas, and the future's bright for cruising in the Bahamas. 85% of people who cruise look forward to cruising again. So one of the things that we are looking to do with cruising in the Bahamas is really to increase the spending of our guests. And we are going to do this by increasing the amount of experiences, things that they can do and see, tours that they can have. And we're working through the Tourism Development Corporation to empower Bahamians, but to also create opportunities for more spending.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
In 2023, over 9 million visitors came to the Bahamas, the region's leading tourism destination. That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Paradise is not only found in Nassau, but throughout our 16 island destinations.
That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Over 400,000 Bahamians depend on our tourism-driven economy.
That is why tourism is everyone's business.
It's the passing on of our traditions and our cultural heritage to the next generation.
That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Tourism is everyone's business.
From the straw we plant, to exploring our Bahama blues, to experiencing the greatest show on earth. No matter who you are, we all have a part to play in our tourism industry.
This is our country.
These are our islands.
This is our home.
That's why tourism
is everyone's business.
In the Yellow Elder Garden, Ali and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the Yellow Elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Ali dances in her Yellow Elder costume. We are alive.
Let's make this moment last forever.
Since 1974, the National Insurance Board has been an income replacement safety net.
But to ensure our future remains secure, starting July 1st, 2024, contribution rates will increase and will continue to be shared by employers and employees.
We will be sharing more information in the upcoming months. But for now, get more details on nibrateincrease.com.
Invest in tomorrow today with NIB.
Because together, we can ensure our financial future.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
It's that time of year when a team of medical experts make it their business to educate Bahamians about the important role they play within their field. At a special ceremony and exhibition at the Mall at Marathon today, Chair of Lab Professionals Week, Lynette Saunders, lamented that the small body has not received the recognition it truly deserves.
We want to let the public know that we are a professional body that works very hard behind the scenes in the world of medicine, providing proper laboratory results, which aids their physicians in their diagnosis. Just want the public to know that it's not just the doctors and nurses that exist in our healthcare system in this country. There are people behind the scenes, like myself, the histotechnicians, the cytotechnicians, the phlebotomists, even right down to our clerks, who are very important and vital to our health care.
Saunders says members of the association are expected to benefit greatly from the week of activities.
For Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the association is providing continuing education credits for our members. Members, in order for them to keep their license in the United States, they have to collect a certain number of credits. This is an avenue where we provide that for our members, and it's free of charge. Elsewhere, they'll have to pay like $10, $15, $20. So we have 3 days of that, and we have a T-shirt day, which is on Friday. We've encouraged the laboratories, they can do their in-house celebrations for their own staff by treating them to breakfast, lunch, taking them out for dinner. We're encouraging that as much as possible.
Times we need a reminder that girls matter and their voices are heard. The Girls Rock Signature event sought to do just that on Saturday, bringing together young women between the ages of 13 and 17 years and a little younger to empower them. The young ladies also reminded that they are uniquely created. Girls Rock Cheer is Lavanderia Bethel.
When we say Girls Rock Signature, the event is just simply pointing girls in the direction of being who they are, who they've been created to be, to walk into their talents, to walk into the skills that they've been possessed with, to recognize that they're enough being who they are. They don't have to copycat, they don't have to be like nobody else.
The young women heard from several speakers who sought to motivate them and share life experiences and career opportunities.
I started a nonprofit organization when I was 12. And what that is young people, because I'm still kind of still young. So my organization is filled with young people, some who are your age, who then goes into the community, into orphanages and whatnot, and we share love.
I'm so glad to have this platform as well because this field is very underpopulated and we need young people to get into the field ASAP. Not only here in the U.S., abroad, every country is in dire need of medical technologists.
Former Democratic National Alliance leader Granville McCartney has resurfaced on the political scene, tossing his support behind former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis. Our senior producer and columnist, Tanya Smith-Cartwright, is casting a suspicious eye on McCartney in this week's edition of As I See It. She says McCartney wants Dr. Minnis returned as Prime Minister. Just some years ago, the Fourth Estate recorded him adamantly calling Minnis a liar. Smith-Cartwright suspects a deal is afoot. Check out our website for more. As I See It is published on our website, znsbahamas.com, and our social media platforms every Monday at 9 a.m. Through this column, Smith-Cartwright explores a multitude of trending, controversial, hot topics and brings them to us as she sees them. Well, still to come, our feature of the night, paper-making workshop. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a minute.
Simplified Lending, we know that your time is precious, so we've unscrambled the loan process, making it fast and hassle-free. You can have your answer in as little as 24 hours. When you qualify, we simplify. We are the best borrowing solution for tuition, home renovation, vacation loans, emergency medical expenses, purchasing a vehicle, and for business expansion loans. Simplified Lending for simplified living. Call us today or find us in the R&D Plaza on JFK Drive.
Spring into your favorite super value or quality supermarket's location for great savings like Muller's Ready Cut Macaroni, 16 ounce, $2.19. Healthy Choice Soups, assorted, 15 ounce, $2.39. Ginger Evans Flour, 5 pounds, $3.99. Sweet Mangoes, $1.99 each. Baby back ribs, $3.69 per pound. Save every day at super value and quality supermarkets.
An arrest made in the murder of a man shot to death and thrown from a vehicle on Calpin Road late Wednesday night. Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez says the suspect was arrested after fleeing to another island.
We got some intel, and he left the island shortly after the murder and ended up in Exuma. We connected with officers down there, and they were able to arrest an adult male who is presently in custody right now, and detectives are speaking to him. So we are hoping from success with respect to that matter.
Well, it's on a lighter note. It's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. Apart from some high clouds over the southeast Bahamas, we had mainly dry and warm conditions throughout much of the islands today, but right now outside of our studios, we have just a few clouds, temperature at 75 degrees, relative humidity 67%, northeast winds at 10 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,018.4 millibars, that is 30.07 inches, and your temperatures around the islands this evening, 74 degrees in Marshall, Abaco, Green Torquay at 73, 73 also in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands at 75, Allenstown, Bimini, 74 degrees, 74 also in Harper Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera 75, Fresh Creek, Central Andros 75, Kemp Space on Andros, Black Point Exuma at 76, Alderstown, Canales 78 degrees, San Salvador and Rumkey at 77. 77 also in George, Shining Exuma, more 77 showing up in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megwana 76. 76 in Ackles, Magic Town in Agua on the warm side at 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos at 78 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight through tomorrow. Easterly winds in the northwestern islands. Those speeds are going to be around 12 to 18 knots, and the wave height 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop to caution flags are in place for boaters in the northwest Bahamas. Now, your low tide, that will take place at 8:24 tonight. Low tide again at 9:31 tomorrow morning. And for the central and southeastern islands, through Tuesday, easterly winds at 15 to 20 knots. Very choppy seas, 4 to 7 feet. So the caution flags are also in place for the central and southeastern islands through Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, middle of the week, for the northwestern islands, those winds become more east to southeast, maintaining at 12 to 18 knot speeds, wave heights unchanged at 3 to 6 feet. So the caution flags continue into Wednesday for the northwestern islands. Now, your low tide, that will occur at 10:29 in the morning with a high tide at 4:28 in the afternoon. Now, for the central and southeastern islands on Wednesday, easterly winds once again, 15 to 20 knots, wave heights unchanged, caution flags continue. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Coconut, choo-choo plum, girl, where you coming from? Having sours up and green lily, you must see drink this silly. You jump on the bike, go to the post office, jump off the bike, and buy one stamp. You put the stamp on a letter, send a letter to the one you love.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. We'll stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
For all of life's twists, turns, and defining moments, RBC is a blend for all of you.
Are you a business with 3 or more vehicles looking for the perfect fueling solution? Well, look no further.
I can go to any Rubis service station and get fast and easy service without any form of payment.
I can top up my fuel account and generate reports anytime online.
We at Wildflowers enjoy significant savings from fraud reduction. The Rubis system provides optimum security and peace of mind.
Email bahamassales@rubis-bahamas.com to sign up now.
Gents, Mother's Day is coming up, and I'm thinking about upgrading my kids' mother's kitchen.
Man, I thought your children's mother was married to another man. You have to know when to let go. This is powerful. You know what? I'm going to upgrade my wife's kitchen for Mother's Day. I am sure she would love that.
I think so too. Check out Cornet Bahamas. They're having a pre-Mother's Day sale, 35% off store-wide starting April 16th to May 16th. The Sandy Port Plaza, Freeport, Albuquerque, and
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage a claim.
Oh?
By the way, it's not NUA. It's NUA. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
At Cartwright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Cartwright members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Cartwright, where membership truly has its privileges.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check Monday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. After 4 days of intense competition, the National High School Track and Field Championships wrapping up Sunday. How about the Big Red Machine of St. Augustine's College? They won 6 of the 8 divisions, under 15 girls and boys, under 17 girls and boys, and the under 20 girls and boys. C.H. Reed's Raptors, your under 13 girls champs, and Tabernacle Baptist Falcons, they were the champions in the under 13 boys. The New Providence Basketball Association Championships Division 1 continuing yesterday evening. Kendall Isaac's gym. Commonwealth Bank Giants, they were able to bounce back from a loss in the first game of the series, taking Game 2, 86-82. Now, that ties the series at 1 game apiece. Game 3 set for Tuesday night. Division 2 championship could be decided this evening as your Essential Store Giants have a 2-0 lead over the Produce Express Rockets. National sport is about to return to the forefront as the National Family Island Regatta is just around the corner. This year's edition in Georgetown will have a new addition to the list of competitors. Charles Fisher has a story.
Weeks away from the National Family Island Regatta, sailing fans must watch out for the newest A-class sloop built in Bucktown, Exuma by owner Patterson Pat Smith.
I looked at sloop sailing across to the Bahamas, and I consider Exuma to be the sloop sailing mecca of the Bahamas. But I know we're lacking one thing, a mainland Exuma boat. And just to be clear, we have the boats in Staniel Key, boats in Black Point, but there was no boat built, operated, sailed, skippered, crewed on mainland Exuma. And I set out to fill that void. Okay, I feel like if we're the sailing mecca of the Bahamas, and we should have at least 2, maybe 3 A-class based on mainland Exuma. I've built the first.
Took just about a year to build. The right one is on course.
The boat itself, I laid it out in March of last year. And I started the process. It wasn't continuous, usually at night, mostly at night. And I made, some stops within, 2 months, didn't do any work, and got it to this point. The name Captain Jane came from my dad. His name was Eugene Smith. Everybody called him Gene. Believe it or not, he was not a competitive sailor, but he was the first person I ever sailed with. He had a smack boat, and oftentimes when we headed down to a little island that we used to farm on, we would sail there and sail back. And I got into sailing back in about 2015 and 2016 and fell in love with it.
So will this sloop be able to hang with the big boys?
Boat is a little bit different from most A-class. One of the things I employed is the use of some plywood. The frame was built from plywood instead of horseflesh or buttonwood or tamarind or some of the woods commonly used. The reason I chose that is ease of work, ease of workmanship. Plywood is super strong, has good flexibility and strength. This boat also is different in the fact that I employed a whole lot of epoxy. That is the strength of this boat. This boat has pretty much no bolt in the hull construction, except for the keel The keel itself have 3 bolts, bolting the lead to it, but the actual frame of the boat, it's mostly glue and screws.
The boat going through a thorough inspection from Dallas Knowles, chairman of the National Family Island Regatta, and his committee.
I have inspected this boat from the beginning up until this point. You guys witnessed the measurings. I am going to sign off as this boat is completely in compliance with the National Family Island Regatta rules for sloop sailing. It is officially part of the A-class fleet. Congratulations, Pat.
Watch out for the Captain Jean. Hope to make some waves at the upcoming National Family Island Regatta. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Thanks, Fisher. Meanwhile, the Bahamas Youth Flag Football League is set to host their 2nd annual high school flag football tournament this coming Saturday. This is going to be at the multi-purpose field located over at the Thomas Robinson Stadium. No word yet on the number of teams expected to participate, but organizers say registration is indeed underway. And Game 1 of the New Providence Volleyball Association Championships getting place yesterday. The Lady Warhawks taking Game 1 in a hard-fought battle, 25-22, 15-25, 25-20, 21-25, and 15-13 over the defending champion Lady Panthers. Now, the men's game just as competitive. Back and forth this one would go. Defenders holding off the Warhawks here, 17-25, 25-14, 25-20, 17-25, and 15-9. And that's your check on sports for you here on this beautiful Monday. Of course, we have our Monday weather forecast. That's coming up. Stay with us.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at what do we have, this frontal boundary near the southeast Bahamas continuing to provide some high-level clouds, but that will gradually sink towards the south and east, so we'll see some clearing there as well. Meanwhile, high pressure remains in control over the remainder of the island, so we'll see some brisk winds at least right through Wednesday with small craft caution in place until then. Tonight, though, we're looking at mainly clear skies, low temperature around 71 degrees. Tomorrow, another beautiful day shaping up, but still windy with periods of clouds and sunshine and high temperature getting up to 80 degrees. Your extended weather forecast looking like this. The sunshine will be with us at least for the next 7 days during the daytime. Those nighttime temperatures getting back up into the low 70s, but they still will remain pretty nice and comfortable for the next several days. But the daytime will be rather much on the toasty side. Makishno.
Well, thanks, Basil. In a move towards environmental sustainability, Ponciana Paper Press has teamed up with Sustainable Me, an organization focused on advancing youth, climate change, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Also part of the mix, wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, who saw firsthand some of the activities involved in the workshop. Director of Sustainable Me, Ava Turnquest, spoke about why it's important to involve youth in initiatives like these, while founder of Ponciana Paper Press, Sonia Farmer, says as one of the few companies in the region specializing in paper making, she's honored to partner with community organizations.
We're using recycled newspaper for this, but we also use cardboard, juice boxes, McDonald's drink holders, and it's really about teaching the kids about recycling, about reusing materials, and about trying to reduce waste. And so this is a fun activity where we're taking that waste and turning it into something colorful.
We're really excited to partner with community organizations like Sustainable Me and others in order to help support their mission. and just show everyone how cool making paper by hand is.
Today we made really big paper sheets, we made paper collage, we did a bit of pulp pouring and pulp painting.
Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here.